Welcome back to another video. My name is Kyle and I suck at budgeting. Take two on this one. We had some more audio issues and I thought I fixed them and now I thought I fixed them again. So we're going to find out if I really fixed them. So hopefully they're fixed. So we have the end of the month of October. It's October 31st, Halloween. We have to close out our budget. Unfortunately, I have done this already. And I have undone most of it, so you can see me do it because that's how much I care. All right, let's hop into YNAB. This is YNAB. It stands for You Need a Budget. And if you're looking to try out YNAB for yourself, you can use the link that is down in the description. If you use that link when you sign up, you will get a free month. I will get a free month as well. So that is pretty cool. So let's start the closeout. So first thing I do is I go through my transactions and make sure that I have no pending or scheduled transactions that are going to come out from now until tomorrow morning. And there are not any. So I've actually done it. There was this one right here, this Amazon one. I bought myself a treadmill. Part of my recovery from my surgery is I need to do a lot of walking. My surgery happens in December. And because of that, I thought it would be good to have a treadmill at the house in case it's like snowy and icy. And I shouldn't be walking out in that. So I bought a treadmill for home use for my recovery. So that's what that was. And there was another transaction that I had to do. It was Raising Cane's, that one right there. So that was already done. So we can do that. The next thing I do is I go through and check my underfunded categories. Because I do like to close out all of my accounts at the end of the month. I go through and make sure that I have everything funded before I do that. So underfunded, we're good to go. Everything's ready to go. Next thing I do is I go through my list of categories and see if there's any money that I can rob for the next month. Not a lot of them. We'll talk about a couple of them. City tax is actually going to stay the way it is. This is city tax for this coming year. I think I've got more than enough of city tax. So that's what we got going on there. The next thing we have is mortgage. So my mortgage has changed a little bit. So the last several months I've been paying to get my escrow account back to like the normal balance. I was behind because of, I think, property tax that increased or something. So I was paying $1309.23. Well, we're back to $1131.57. However, I didn't change the target, and I did that so I could start saving some more money. I figured if I was paying $1309.23 anyway, let's just keep it. It gives me another $177.66 to put towards the mortgage. So that's what we're gonna do. Well, what my plan is, I'm gonna wait till I get a significant amount, I don't know, $500, $1,000, whatever, and then throw it right at the mortgage as a principal payment. Mortgage extra. I do pay my mortgage every 2 weeks, which means that every 6 months or so, I do have an extra mortgage payment. I'll have 3 payments in a month. So this mortgage extra payment is for that extra that comes out every, however, like 6 months or so. So I have stolen from water, which I forgot to mention already. And let's go to old fashioned word. We have another 5147. We can throw that up into ready to assign. I can go there. I've already stolen from eating out a little bit, but we can move that to ready to assign as well. And then 4268 can go to ready to assign, which gives me 20110. And we're just going to go through and just double check and make sure there's nothing else that's green that needs to be moved. So backup debit, 119.73. This is a backup debit card that I have that I keep in case my regular debit card becomes compromised. I keep $119.73 in there for 2 reasons. First, for all of you that like your round numbers, I like to keep it a non-round number to drive you nuts. The second reason is when I set this up, I had $119.73 in there. That's the way I kept it. Every time I take money from it, I make sure it gets back to 119.73, and it makes my brain happy. That's what I do. Home improvement. This was from the last video where I was going to buy that sink, bought the sink, found out they glued it to my countertop, and I can't take the old sink out without destroying my countertop. So I have $474.53 here sitting in home improvement. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. So it's going to stay there for now until I figure out what to do with it. Emergency fund is going to stay right where it is. Health is going to stay where it is. I've been putting as much money as I can into health. Should I put this 474.53 in there? Yep. Am I gonna? Nope. So yeah, there's that. Sinking funds and all that sort of stuff, domains and hosting, they're gonna stay the way they are. So that is that. Which means I have 20110 that needs to go into the month of November. So let's hop over into November and let's do some budgeting in November. So we need to get a little bit more money in old-fashioned Word, a little bit money into eating out. Let's do eating out. Let's do $100 there. That'll get us a, what I consider a week's worth, which really isn't a week's worth. It's less than that or more than that. And then I got 10110. Gas I think is okay. Let's just throw the 10110 in here. And that is good there. So now we have all of our money assigned. All right, cool. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go through and check my... Oh, wait, no, we can't do that yet. We have to go through and see what we have for month ahead. So because I like to see what my month ahead looks like, I go here where it says assign in future months. So 1598.39, and I have this really ugly spreadsheet right here, 1598.39, just to give me an idea of how I'm doing with month ahead. Honestly, haven't been focusing on it since really August of 2024. You can see that I'm getting up there, $3,500, and then I decided to pay the Jeep off, and then I was going to get back to it, and then this surgery came up. So that's where we're at. I'm still tracking it, and we'll figure it out eventually. We'll eventually get month ahead. So we're good there. Now we can do retirement accounts. So let's hop on over to retirement accounts. Give me 1 second to get this into a visible state. Good there. Okay, sorry about that. All right. So TIAA is now 5462886. Save. Vanguard is now 41234.77. Save. Which means TIAA has gone up 2165.58. While we're here, let's reconcile. Yup. And then we can go to Vanguard, which has gone up $832.62. Let's reconcile that. And we're good there. Double check and make sure that we're reconciled here. We are, because it is Friday. I do reconcile every Friday because that's what I do. So, all right. Next thing we do is we need to update our early retirement spreadsheet. And to do that, I grab this amount and go to my other ugly spreadsheet. And I paste values only. And I go back and grab this amount. Copy that. And paste values only. So if you look at my spreadsheet, you'll see that I need $1.65 million to retire early. And you'll see that based on that and that alone, I can never retire. Which is not actually the case, but, it's also the case as well. So, but it's fine. So there is that. The next thing we need to do is, I think, long-term goals. Let me hop into Todoist and look really quickly, make sure we did underfunded, we did our FI sheet, we did month ahead, we did Vanguard, we did TIAA, we reconciled. Next thing we do is we update our long-term goals. So one of the reasons that I believe that I have stuck with budgeting this time through is I have created goals for myself. And I keep my goals up here on the notes area. And what I do is every month I copy those goals into the next month, which you'll see I've already done because I already recorded this video. And I undid it just to see if the audio would fix itself, which I hope it has. So just to go through the goals, number one at the moment is the medical stuff, putting aside as much as I possibly can to the medical stuff. While we're talking about the medical stuff, during the week, this past week, I have approved for leave of absence or family medical leave, whatever they call it, have been approved. So that's good there. I've also put in a claim for short-term disability insurance because I do not have enough sick time to take me through my recovery. So that has been put in. I can't do much with that, I understand, until the surgery happens and I'm out of work. So I've already filed the claim and it's ready to go. I just need to let them know, hey, surgery's happening. I'm out of work. What do I do next? So medical is in good shape. I'm putting aside as much as I can monthly. Cycling is still a goal. It is still something I want to do. There's some upgrades to the new bike that I bought that I want to do. I honestly have not been riding because, just out of fear of hurting myself, I don't want to get, too far into stuff and hurt myself before surgery. And, I have an aneurysm in my aorta. While they say cardio work is perfectly fine, and I can do it. When people talk about rupturing your aorta, it's not something I really want to be doing. So I have held off on most exercising. So, would love to get back into it, but I'm going to wait until after the surgery and I get the all clear from surgery and then can go from there. So the next thing will be month ahead. I used to do projected month aheads. I don't do that anymore because things are so up in the air and, money's all over the place. So I'm not worried about doing that. Then we're going to work on getting emergency funds back up to where I think they should be. We'll work on increasing Roth contributions and then pay off the house. We're kind of doing all of them at the same time. At the moment, we're not really focusing on one thing more than another at the moment, which is okay. But those priorities still align with what I'm doing. So that is good for me. So then I just like to look and kind of go through and make sure everything is in good enough shape for the upcoming month. And I think we're in pretty good shape. Cell phone's ready to go. Electric, I need a little bit more money for electric. But I've got another paycheck to do that, and I need to figure out what the actual payment's going to be. It's either $131 or $135. Can't remember what it is, but we'll figure that out. Water, internet, insurance is good to go. We got the first mortgage payment ready to go. This is something I don't normally do. I don't normally put the mortgage payment in ahead of time. I usually just kind of wait until the payment comes out and the first paycheck comes in and have an overspent category. Did it differently this time because I'm trying to be a little more responsible because people watch what I do. I want to try and set a good example. But so I did put money in there for the mortgage payment. Mortgage extra will fund with the next paycheck. We'll finish out old-fashioned word and eating out and gas. We'll have to do dog food. Dog food will have to start. Yeah, that'll be fine because that comes out in 2 months. So there's that. I think we're in really good shape. Then we'll do the staking funds, the domains and hosting. We're in good shape. So that'll be it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like what you've been watching, make sure you like it. Give me a subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And I'll see you in the next video, which will be around November 11th or so. See ya.